I can tell you how to be successful today right now in one sentence. Decide. When you decide to be successful, you can then decide what successful means to you. You decide to then get that thing or go after it. Now, you could scrape away all the bullshit that is, let me go out and make money and be famous and do all this shit. Like, you could just let that go in a second. And you could be like, I'm successful now because I'm healthy, because I have friends and family, and because I'm not stressing every day about my bills. If that's you, and maybe you're actually building something and you have work that matters to you, then you are successful. The question is, what is the story inside your head? Because most people that have an ounce of ambition, and even those that don't, that just like want to have fun or whatever, there's always those external factors. You're always comparing yourself to other people. You always think the grass is greener, and you always think that you're finally going to be happy if you just make X dollars or get X mate or whatever you're searching for, whatever that thing in your life that you feel is missing. When you get that thing, then you'll be happy. Maybe you don't say that to yourself. Maybe the internal dialogue isn't, I'll be happy when I get X thing. Yet why do you wake up every single day stressing out and miserable because you don't have that thing yet, and you're so fixated on that you're not living the moment. You're always next thing. It's funny. I feel like I'm talking to myself half the time. Even though I understand all these things, I'm aware of all these things. It doesn't mean I'm perfect at executing them on a daily basis. I try to slow down. I try to appreciate the moment. I try to make sure I'm spending a lot more time with my kids. I'm not thinking about work, etc. But I still struggle with it. This is not about me being better than you. In fact, this is me talking to myself more than anything. I feel like I have it dialed in a little bit better than most people, though, because I've observed them. I've observed them up close. I've observed them from far away. And I see it all the time, especially the way people spend their money. That's kind of a very telltale. That's a very easy tell, the way people spend their money. I saw this example the other day of this kind of like guru, financial success guru, business guru, wife of another guru. I don't know much about her. I know more about him. And she put a picture of her plastic surgery with her nose all busted up and like all the stuff, like her whole face swollen, whatever. And what she said was, you should have seen the other girl. And it's like, oh, cheeky, funny, whatever. But why? Like, first of all, why do you even need it? So that you can like compete with other women or like, I mean, I don't know. It's so bizarre. And this is a perfect example. The decision is everything. You decide that you're happy with your face, with your body, with whatever, with your finances. And then you've already won. It's instant success. Choose that what you have is what you want, and you've won. You can get this intuitively. You can maybe even agree with me. And you might even say, I should do that. But then you wake up tomorrow and you go through the same bullshit, the same patterns, you spend the same way. You're always seeking validation from other people. You're trying to post things, trying to get all the likes in the comments or whatever. And you do it in a way that's lacking self-awareness. Or maybe you're aware of it and you've decided that's the game you want to play. But it then feels like, why do so many people that win at that game then quit the game? They realize it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. Why is that so common? Why do people that get a bunch of money decide they need to get into philanthropy or they need to start a new company because they're bored or whatever it is? Because it's not the destination. Because the destination, when that's your only goal, is only something that's going to let you down when you reach that destination, because then you don't have another destination. You can have instant success if you wake up tomorrow and you decide that what you have is enough. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't strive for more. A concept that applies here that can help you think about this for your life is flow. The flow state, which the famous Nihai Csikszentmihalyi, whatever his name is, he coined this as this kind of deep, in the moment, slightly challenging time that we need to achieve to have happiness. And that's why people that love what they do from a work perspective, or those that love to surf or do some kind of sport, when they find that flow state, they get addicted to it. They want it all the time because it's actually integral to happiness. Maybe it's integral to happiness because it puts you in the now, and our constantly connected environment is the opposite of that. Maybe that gives you kind of a meditative, disconnecting state. I could see some of that, but there's more to that. It's like challenging yourself. It's accomplishing something. It actually gives you meaning because it's kind of hard. And I did another video on duality and the importance of meaning and struggle and all these different things, and they're all connected. And so flow definitely has something to do with that for sure. But it also just feels good to be focused, to be improving, to seek mastery, to try to overcome something, to try to overcome yourself. Again, it gives you meaning, and it has to be slightly hard. It has to be slightly outside your skill set. Otherwise, it's boring. It's too easy. LeBron playing with, some teenagers, basketball court, to him, it'd be a charity thing. It would not be him getting into flow. He would probably be bored. I've seen this myself in racquetball. Playing racquetball with players that challenge me versus players that I can win easily. I don't even want to play players where I can win easily. I don't even want to play players where I can win half easy or whatever. I don't want it. I want to actually play with the players that are better than me every single time. Every single time, if I can, I will do that. Now, a lot of people don't do that because they want to be comfortable, because they don't want the ego loss of losing, etc. So that's a whole other discussion. But this idea that you can literally wake up tomorrow and have everything you want and need because you decide to, the reality is for most of us watching this, we already have more abundance than we're ever going to need in our entire lives. Sure, you work a little bit, pay the bills, but like you could literally go live in a third world country on a beach, be a freelancer, do some remote work or whatever, or maybe do the same thing you're doing right now and not have to worry about bills, actually be saving money on top of it. Like whatever you think you need to do and all that stress that you need to pay and all that suffering that you need to endure to maintain the current lifestyle you have, even though you don't feel content with it as it is, it's kind of bizarre. And living in Austin, Texas, I experience this all the time. I'm thinking to myself, man, I could literally go down to Mexico or Colombia right now. And my friend in Colombia, by the way, sent me a screenshot of his bank transactions for Uber. $1, 69 cents, 150. I mean, it was unbelievable. Uber in America, 40, 35, 25 if you're lucky, maybe 15 if it's a short route, like insane. Literally 40 times the price for the same exact service to get from point A to point B. It's just an example of the water we're swimming in, we are not even aware of, and we think we have to do or we need or is a standard. In a lot of cases, you can literally empty that entire tank, change tanks completely, and you have comparisons, you have options, changes everything. What we need more of today is we need people that are content, that have chosen to be happy and content and in the moment, rather than always seeking. That's the sickness of our culture. Always seeking. More, more, more. The grass is always greener somewhere else. But the reality is the grass is greener where you water it and you mow it, you cultivate it, and you decide to make that grass greener. Your yard is green if you decide to make it greener. So what in your life are you chasing and suffering through and you don't even know if it's worth anything? You don't even know why you're doing it. You're just doing it because you're doing it. Or you think you need to make more money because that's the goal of being happy. You actually haven't even thought about, is it worth the sacrifice? Do I even want this damn thing? You haven't even thought about what the destination is like. You've never had the destination. You see other people that might have the destination. They have more money. They have this. They have the car, the house, whatever. And then you think, oh, that looks nice. I'm going to go after that. I'm going to suffer for years. And then I'm going to get it. And then I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be happy finally. And then I'll slow down. And it almost never happens that way. You have to ask yourself, why is that the case?